Okay, I'm back. So that was two tricks. I think they're pretty visually killer. I mean, they shock people after the first trick with the red and blue changing. People are looking at the cards and rubbing it and snapping. They have no idea. And then by the second trick, completely destroyed. And both of those tricks use the uh, Elmsley count primarily as the main move. And so let me tell you one other thing. I chained the two tricks together. So I open and I show my $20 bill and my ace. And in the first trick, there are only four cards, and they get to examine those four cards. But in the second trick, there's more than four. So how do I do this? I close it, I talk for a second, I open to the same exact spot, but now I've switched the packets. I actually have more than four cards, and we're going to see exactly the order. How do I do this? I use what's called a Himber wallet. So it's just a Z principle, and I set it up so that on one side it looks exactly this way. If I close it, flip it around, I'm in exactly the same position. So it's just a very simple way to do a switch. And that way I can take, they've examined four cards. Now I take back, oh, just one more trick. The same four cards apparently, and I now have a completely different setup. And just make sure the front looks the same in both cases. So I'm going to teach the second trick first because it just uses the Elmsley count. So let's look at the setup. In this setup, I have four aces, and three of the aces are red, and the ace of clubs is blue. So I set them up in this order with spades, one of the red cards, it doesn't matter which, the clubs in the Elmsley count position, and ace of diamonds. And then the other two cards are actually red-blue double-backed cards. And I've given all of you red-blue double-back cards too. So in summary, and I place them such that I've got the four aces, this is the blue card, and the two reds. So here's the sequence of the trick. I start out and I don't do an Elmsley count. This is the only time I'm not doing an Elmsley count in the whole trick. I just do a normal count. So I grip the card on top and bottom, and I use my thumb just in the same kind of way I do for Elmsley. And I go, I've got one, I've got two, I've got three, and I've got four cards. And that actually reverses the order. So you say, I've got four cards, then you flip over the deck, and my snap still works. I snap, and now they're all red. And so here you do an Elmsley count. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that shows four red cards. Now, what you need to do is actually secretly, you're going to be flipping over the deck. How do you do that? If you're standing, it's super easy. You just drop it to your side, and you bring it up the other way. No one is expecting or looking for it. So just make a relaxed movement. Just say something here, and it's right back. There's no move involved. So the next thing is now you're ready for the flips. You're saying my new move, the wave, is going to flip over a card one at a time. And you do Elmsley count. 1, 2, 3, and the first card is flipped over. You slowly show it's just one card. It's a red card. You flip it back. You say wave, and you do another Elmsley count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing, you flip it over, Elmsley count. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then finally, Elmsley count. 1, 2, 3. Now at this point, rather than flip it over, you just say, and that's the last one. And you take this card and you put it under. This is going to be one of the red-blue cards. And you say, and luckily, my snap sensors still work. If I snap twice, now they all turn blue. You turn it over, and the shocking finish and surprise, 1, 2, 3, 4, they're all blue. All right, so with just a couple of Elmsley counts using the property of that move, you get one of the most, and one gimmick, which is the red-blue, the pair of red-blue cards, you get the most visual, amazing trick.